Let me paint the scene for you. You are a movie director or producer, and you get handed the rights to adapt a beloved book series into a show or movie. What do you think the logical next step is? I'm sure most of you who have a smidge of common sense would say to faithfully adapt the book series. Because it worked once, why wouldn't it work again? But unluckily for us, this is the real world. And the people at the top of Hollywood who, have the rights to make and adapt our beloved book series, games, yada yada yada, whatever it may be, all collectively have about 2 brain cells to their name. A prime example of this in the modern day is The Witcher series on Netflix. The Witcher is a beloved book series that eventually got adapted into a video game, which is another beloved piece of that media. I haven't read any of The Witcher books. I'm just gonna say it out straight. Do I look like a man who likes to read? Don't answer that, you're gonna hurt my feelings. And I also have not played the game series, but I have many friends that will die on this hill that The Witcher 3 is the best game they've ever played. And then we cut to the Netflix live action TV show version of it. When it first got announced that The Witcher is going to be released as a TV show and Henry fucking Cavill, the Witcher lover himself, the man who was all about faithful adaptations and sticking to the source material, is going to be playing Geralt of Grindelwald. Wait, Grindelwald? That's not right. Geralt of Rivia, that's the one. Everybody was excited because everyone knows that Henry Cavill is a fan of this series and will fight to have it faithfully adapted into a live action show. And for me personally, I was really excited also because I have no clue about this world, but the trailer caught my attention and I thought to myself, maybe this TV show will get me into this world and make me want to either read the books or play the game, which is the more likely outcome. Season 1 released and I genuinely loved it. I thought it was great. The cinematography was fantastic. The creature designs and the fight scenes were just sick. Yes, it had some problems of course, but I'm easy to please in that regard. Henry Cavill playing Geralt, done a fantastic job. The girl who played Ciri, done a great job also. The whole storyline from the entire season, I really enjoyed also. Yennefer, good God, Yennefer. This is the biggest cinematic glow up I have ever fucking seen in my life. This is what Yennefer looked like at the start of the show. After a painful procedure which she had to give up her womb, she came out looking like this. Gone from the Hunchback of Notre Dame to the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Fuck me. It's gonna take me a minute to recover from that bad joke. Jesus Christ. But it's safe to say that I really enjoyed the show. I love bloody action. I love long swords. I love just fucking fantasy shit in general. So I was very pleased with this. And I love pretty women. And I was spoiled for choice, if I'm honest. I even enjoyed season 2. I actually watched season 2 from start to finish when I had my first batch of COVID. Yeah, that was not fun. Even when it comes to season 3, I had a good time, I did not think it was as good as the first 2 seasons, nowhere close to be honest. And that's the beauty of being someone who hasn't read the source material. I don't know what's been changed, and I never will know what's been changed. However, that all fucking changed when the man, the myth, the Geralt himself, Henry Cavill, came out and said that he is leaving the project due to creative differences. And the fact that the director and yada 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 wanted to take the story in a different direction. Meaning they are straying away from the source material. Because they're fucking idiots. He announced this even before season 3 was released, so everybody knew that this season of The Witcher is going to be the last with Henry Cavill. Fans of the book series and fans of the games just completely lost hope at this point, including myself. As soon as I heard that he was leaving for creative differences, I knew it was going to be a slippery slope from there on out. Now, in modern day, a few years after the fact, we now know that Henry Cavill was very persistent about sticking to the source material on set. Even the original author of the Witcher series, who was on the project from, season 1 up, he also said himself,
I gave them some ideas, but they never listened. They never listened.
And once people found out about this, it was game fucking over for The Witcher. Nobody gave a shit, including myself, someone who has not read the source material. The fact that I know that they are purposely, out of their own fucking will, going against the grain when it comes to the source material gave me this feeling of despair, knowing that they were going to fuck it up. Not only that, they announced that they were doing another season of The Witcher without Henry Cavill as Geralt. Meaning you are gonna have 3 seasons with this fucking actor, Henry Cavill, as Geralt, and then you are gonna have the 4th season be a different actor playing the same fucking character, as if nothing has changed. That just makes this so much worse. Just put that into perspective real quick, right? You have a multi-million dollar property lightning in a fucking bottle with the book series. If you just follow this fucking guideline, you would get it right. People would love it. It's so fucking simple. But no, you need to open that bottle and let the lightning fucking escape, and then take a giant shit into that bottle and reseal it. Why the fuck would you do that? Like, it makes no logical sense whatsoever. You are literally given a fucking roadwork of perfection that everyone already loves. The fans wanted a faithful adaptation. Henry Cavill wanted a faithful adaptation, and they fucking lied to us by giving us 2 seasons of greatness, good show, good story writing that I'm pretty sure is quite similar to the original source, only to then backtrack completely and fuck over the fans who were excited for the new seasons because they thought they were getting it adapted faithfully. So of course, people were going to be fucking fuming. And now, upon research in modern day, I literally done a lot more research in the last few days because of this. I also talked to some of my friends who have read the books, played the games, all of it, and they told me that the woke crowd have gotten to The Witcher, and I thought they were just like, you know, saying a load of hooey. The word woke means fucking nothing nowadays because it's been thrown around so much. But when I researched myself and learned all these small little details, I soon became apparent that that was definitely the fucking case. But as the show goes on, it becomes less about Geralt's point of view and more about Ciri and Yennefer's point of view. You know, important characters in their own right, of course. They play a big part in the story, to the point that when it got to season 3, Henry Cavill was barely in his own fucking show, but to a lot of fans it just felt like pandering. And now, don't get me wrong, I did not mind seeing a bit more of Yennefer. Goodness gracious me, I did not. They also made Jaskier, the bard in the show. In the show at the start, he is a womanizer. He loves women. He is constantly getting in trouble for fucking women. But in season 3, lo and behold, they made this obviously straight character, they made him gay. But now, I'm finding out that in the books and everything else, he is not meant to be gay. Apparently they've done something similar with many other characters. Like, put down in the comments to correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently they turned a load of characters into lesbians as well. But it upset a lot of fans, including some of my friends who were very visceral about their reaction to the show. One being that there is a specific character, I think in season 3, I'm pretty sure, that is like described, correct me if I'm wrong, she's described as having like white pale hair and a few other characteristics also that were like labeled, and I'm not 100% sure, but somebody told me that, you know, she was labeled as a white person also. And then fast forward to season 3 of The Witcher, where they turned her into a black woman with ginger hair. Like, you couldn't have gone more askew if you tried. According to my Witcher loving friends, that was the turning point for them. They just really did not care about the show anymore, and a lot of them just stopped watching there and then, and a lot of like the viewer numbers and stuff of season 3 show that. It shows that in a certain point in the show, 64% of people stopped watching it entirely. It has happened many times with Marvel movies and just superhero movies in general, something that I'm pretty familiar with. They just change races of characters wishy-washy. But however, the funniest part about it is you never see them change a coloured character into a white person. Because why would they do that? They don't get the brownie points if they do that. My problem with this is the people who make these shows and make these movies, the higher ups in Hollywood, do not give a fuck about being diverse. They do not care about being inclusive. They don't. That's a lie. If they really did fucking care, tell me why they do the simplest fucking action of just changing the skin tone and appearance of a fucking already existing written character, which is the easiest thing they could possibly do, instead of, you know, writing a fully fledged, built up character to represent that skin tone and to represent that culture. Because they don't care enough to put that much effort into it, so they just fucking, you know, slap a label on someone else and say, yeah, she's black now. You know, I hate how people try to defend this shit. It's the laziest thing they could possibly do, man. Let's put it into perspective, right? Imagine Miles Morales wasn't the character anymore. Miles Morales, the Black Spider-Man, Black Latino Spider-Man. Let's imagine he wasn't the character. He never existed. Would you rather they turn Peter Parker, the already established white character, into a black person or a Latino person or an Asian person? Or would you rather them do what they ended up doing and create and write an entirely separate character to, portray this culture? Would you rather them make a completely brand new character and flesh it out based around his roots? Or would you rather them just go and completely change the color palette of our already existing Peter Parker boy? I think the obvious choice is to create the whole new character. As you see in real life now, Miles Morales is a beloved fucking character. He is a loved version of Spider-Man. He is his own separate entity. He has his own wants. He has his own culture. He has his own way of thinking based around his culture and how he was brought up. When in comparison, if they just done, the skin tone change of Peter Parker, all of that would be lost. But they don't do that. They just put the skin tone on. Boom. Simple. Bob's your uncle, Mary's your auntie. Have a good day. But now we fast forward to the modern day. And literally last week, I'm pretty sure, I think it actually happened when Charlie Kirk was shot. Rest in peace, by the way. The day that he was assassinated, I'm pretty sure they released the trailer for The Witcher Season 4. But the person they hired to continue on the Geralt legacy is Liam Hemsworth. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Liam Hemsworth. I don't think he's a bad actor or anything, or a bad guy or whatever, but how do you believe that this is a good idea to completely change the look and the feel of the main fucking character in the 4th season, bro? You could have at least got him to come in as a different Witcher, not Geralt of Rivia, the one that we have seen for 3 fucking seasons, because it just doesn't feel right. You could have put fucking Johnny Depp in this role. The man who could literally adapt to any fucking role he is ever given, and he still wouldn't have been able to do anything that did not feel wrong. Because instead of say Liam Hemsworth was given the role at the start of the show, he would have been able to build his own version of Geralt, what he believed Geralt would have been like. Whereas now, you have him in the 4th season. He is not going to be able to do any of that because the character is already established in this universe. So instead of having the creative free will to be able to interpret these characters or this character in the way that would work for him, he just has to copy what Henry Cavill done. So instead of actually being able to act as Geralt of Rivia, he is now just acting as Henry Cavill's version of Geralt of Rivia. I hope that makes sense, but it just feels wrong. Although, even if he'd done a perfect job at portraying the mannerisms and the way he speaks, even if he had them down to a T, it would still feel fucking wrong. There is no winning in this situation. Why the fuck do they think this is a good idea? Because now he's just going to get backlash based on something that is completely out of his control. No matter how good his performance is, no matter how well acted it is, he is going to receive backlash. This is how out of touch the higher ups in this fucking industry is, man. Because the actor change is not the only thing. The fact that Henry Cavill has left means that the lovers of the books are not going to want to watch this show because it is going to butcher the story that they love. And so, congratulations, Witcher. You have lost pretty much your entire audience. But yeah, I just wanted to rant. I know I went on a few different side tangents there, but I hope it all made sense. I've said all I need to say. I need to stop talking. So with that said, folks, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Comment down below what you thought of the video. Comment down below what you want to see in the next video. And if you like my face and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 2K. And check out the channel down below because I have plenty of content, different varieties on there for you all to lay your peepers upon. If you enjoyed, leave a like because that matters on YouTube now. And with that said, folks, it's been Exo and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one, folks.